Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Mark from Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News, and today I'm joined by the main guy, the man, the myth, the legend, the degenerate of us all, in all of our hearts, all of our souls. We got Uncle Del from Blue Collar Sports TV. What's happening, Del?
Yeah, what's up, lads? How you guys doing? How are you doing? How are you doing?
Mate, I'm wrecked. I'm absolutely wrecked, but I'm in good spirits. And do you know what we're going to talk about, Del? Do you want to know? Do you want to know?
Yeah, humour me, go on.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about this thing nobody seems to be talking about, especially in the UK, and we'll get to that as well. Fury versus Wilder.
Oh, that fight, that,
Yeah,
that small
yeah,
fight that's going down.
yeah.
Yeah,
That Ring Magazine WBC World Heavyweight Championship between the Bronze Bomber and I guess we can call him from Dusser to Tusser. I guess now with the claims about how much he's masturbating, Tyson Fury.
yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
too
sir.
fast. The Mac is back. This is a fight that, like, the first fight was actually amazing, to be honest with you, in terms of drama. Brought me
Yeah,
to the edge of my seat, and to be honest, to me feet, because it went kind of in a weird way as expected. If Fury was somewhat of himself, not completely, but somewhat expected, and Wilder did it tremendously well, like landing his shots. But Fury boxed a very good fight. But some people, like myself, like you, we have said that he just didn't do enough to rip the title away. Even though I had him winning, and I believe you had him winning in the first
yeah, I
fight.
did. Yeah,
Yeah. He wasn't active enough, and he didn't take the title from Wilder, which he needed to do.
yeah,
So,
I'd agree.
with all the drama leading up to now, we were expecting this time last year this fight to be happening now. This time last year, we were expecting that fight in February, remember?
Yeah,
And
yes,
then, boom, Tyson Fury all of a sudden he's with Bob Arum. It's like, wait, what? And then he's fighting Tom Schwartz, and it's like, wait, what? And then it's like he's getting like 100 million for 5 fights, and it's like, oh, whoa. And then all of a sudden you're like, yo, he's got ESPN. He's got some insurance policy in America, because previously going to America he had Frank Warren, and having the El shoulder roll is really good if you're fighting against the likes of a shot like Andre Berto, but when you're going in you're fighting a prime Al Heyman, it's not really going to help you out, is it?
yeah. Doesn't cut it.
So what you need to do is bring in the Grandad Moidana to do some damage, and that's what's kind of happened. So he goes over, he gets Uncle Bob, and now he's got an insurance policy. It's on 2 pay-per-view platforms in America: ESPN Plus and Fox Pay-per-view. And it's also BT Sport won the bidding war with Sky, so it's also available on pay-per-view in the UK on BT Sport for anybody interested. So yeah, initial thoughts, Dan. What do you think of this card?
I've got to say, I'm really, really hyped. It's the fight this year so far that I'm looking forward to most. First time around, I can't lie. Obviously, it was a big event. I was looking forward to it in a sense, but I felt Tyson Fury was kind of done. But since then he performed well against Wilder. He's gone on to do what he's done. I really think he's a world level fighter again. He's proved that he's proved he can operate at that level after the layoff, and these two have unfinished business. Tyson Fury obviously wants to avenge that bogus draw, and Deontay Wilder, he wants to put the record right. Whatever, no matter what he says, he knows he lost that fight. You can just tell he knows he lost, and I think he wants to put that right. Both guys have a lot to lose. Fury, the unbeaten record, the lineal title. Deontay Wilder, WBC, unbeaten record. It's a high stakes fight. It really is. And I can't wait. Two contrasting styles, two contrasting ideologies, the boxer versus the puncher. It's a great fight. It's got all the ingredients. It really has. It's got the storyline. It's got the first fight. It's got the fan bases. Just a great fight, man. I can't wait. Really can't wait.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, it's a fight that I'm looking forward to. But, something that I have been seeing a lot of people make the claims of is that there doesn't seem to be a real buzz from the audience that truly counts, and that's the casual audience. I haven't been hearing much about it myself on the streets here, or I haven't really been seeing any posts about it on Facebook or Twitter outside of the boxing circles. I'm not seeing
Yeah,
anything about it. And Bob Arum made that hefty claim it's going to do 2 million pay-per-view boys, which let's just
it's
call a spade a spade.
it's ridiculous. Let's be honest about it.
Not
It's
happening.
it's completely ridiculous. I mean, I think their biggest mistake, if I'm being completely honest, was not making the first fight straight away. Sorry, not making the rematch straight away after the first fight, because that first fight had a lot of buzz after the fact. That was going crazy on social media. There was memes of Tyson Fury getting up like the Undertaker. That was a big, big social media hit
Yeah.
at the time. And if they fought the rematch a few months afterwards, I think the buzz would have been a lot bigger. But again, boxing, marination, all that nonsense, it doesn't always work out the way you want it to. Either a fighter loses or a fight loses buzz. Maybe this fight has lost a bit of buzz, but maybe as it gets closer, it'll pick up. But we'll see what happens. But I do agree there hasn't been much, you know, there doesn't seem to be much anticipation. It's not that far away now either.
No,
It,
it's on the 20. What day is it? 20th of February? 22nd of
20,
February?
yeah,
Yeah,
22nd, yeah.
22nd of February. We're currently on the 15th of January. 1 month and 1 week to go, boys.
Yeah, 5 weeks, man. Exactly.
It's 5 weeks. Like this Saturday coming, you'll be counting down the days. Let's look at it like that. And this fight, it has massive implications because, well, from what we hear, I don't know how big the implications are, but from what we hear, there's a rematch and everything. So, like, but they're lining up for a trilogy,
Yeah.
and every era needs a trilogy to define a fighter. And the winner of this trilogy, if there is an outright winner, it could have massive implications. Like if Wilder were to beat Fury in this fight and then beat him again, he's got 2 wins over Tyson Fury and 2 wins over Ortiz. He's got that string of defenses and he'd pick up the Ring Magazine title. He'd probably end up entering the Hall as much as it might kill people.
Yeah, it would certainly improve his resume, let's put it that way.
And if Tyson were to go and beat Wilder twice with the draw, so 2 wins in the draw over Wilder, a Vladimir Klitschko win in the bag, a former unified champion, has held every belt and the Ring Magazine belt and been lineal, Tyson Fury would definitely probably enter the Hall.
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%.
Those 2 wins are monstrous. Like
100%, yeah.
Wilder and Klitschko would be monstrous to his resume. Um, and then it could lead into a possible, like, I don't want to get talking about it too much because there's obviously Joshua has to deal with his next 2 mandatories and they're not easy fights in Kubrat Pulev or Usyk. A lot of people are just overlooking Pulev. Pulev's a live dog. Whilst you'd rate Joshua a heavy favourite, Pulev's still a good fighter. He is a good fighter at like 100%, but Joshua's obviously the favourite. And at this stage, I don't know how much I'm willing to like go, Joshua's just going to beat this guy. You can't do that anymore. He's
No,
lost a bit of an
exactly.
air to him, you know what I mean? To some
Yeah, the
extent.
aura, the aura, yeah, the aura's gone with Joshua.
To some
Even
extent.
after that win with over Ruiz, like he avenged it, good performance, boxed well, but the same aura's not there.
Yeah, but that's not saying that Joshua can't win any of these fights. He can, obviously.
Of course.
He's the favorite against Usyk. To be on paper, he'll be the favorite, and he'll be the favorite against Pulev, and he'll probably open evens with either Wilder or Fury. He probably
Yeah,
will. Um,
yeah, 100%.
so that's what it is. But when we look at this fight, let's look at one thing that's a very big change. Ben Davison no longer with Tyson Fury. Also, speaking of like Ben Davison, he's picked up a new protege, leading up to a possible fight with Canelo Alvarez. Billy Joe Saunders left
Uh,
Dominic Ingle
yeah, again.
again, and now he's gone with Ben Davison, and apparently he wants Jimmy Tibbs to come into the fray as well. So that might be very interesting there. But Fury, let's go with him. Left Ben Davison, and now he's over with Sugar Hill, and Andy Lee has been brought into the camp. Um,
Mm,
so we got a
interesting.
Kronk trainer, but doesn't Wilder in a way have a Kronk trainer with Breland?
Yeah, Breland was brought up in that gym.
He was. So they both have as much of a lineage to that Kronkness now. to that Kronk gym. I mean,
Exactly.
so
And with this whole Tyson Fury linking up with obviously the Kronk gym, do you think that indicates that Tyson Fury is going for a knockout in this rematch? Do
I
you
don't
think he
know
will
if it
be more
indicates
aggressive?
he's going for a knockout. I think he's in. I think it indicates that he's going to. It doesn't necessarily mean he's going for the knockout, but I think it means that he's going to sit on his shots a bit more. He's going to stick in the pocket and move a bit more,
Yeah,
and
be a
he's
little
going to,
less passive kind of
yeah,
thing.
a little less passive, show a bit more active aggression to, at the very least, do what we've all criticized, which is what we said at the start of this, is that he didn't take it out of his hands. And
Yeah,
that way he'll take it out of his hands. And if an opportunity arises, he may go for it. With that
yeah,
said, with that said, we don't know just how powerful he is because it's always been speculation that when Fury sits on his punches, he's a massive puncher. It's always been speculation. We don't know.
100%, 100%. But and yeah, what do you make of Fury's claims about him trying to knock Wilder out in 2 rounds? That's his prediction. Do you think he's being genuine,
Well,
or do you think it's just selling the fight?
I'll go by the track record. I'm a big believer in Tyson Fury. I think he tells us the truth in every fight, right? I think he's a magician. And what I mean by magician is magicians. They promise. They're the most honest people in the world. They are promising to deceive you, and they do.
Yeah,
So
that's a
they'll
very good point.
they'll tell you something's done this way and it's not, and they do, and boom, it's gone, and you're like, what the fuck? And they lie to you. Tyson Fury, he's a magician, and a magician never reveals a secret, but he's used the same trick too often. Kevin Johnson was getting sparked out. Vladimir Klitschko was getting sparked out. I mean, Derek Chisora in the first fight was getting sparked out. McDermott, he was getting sparked out unconscious. You know what I mean? All these guys
Yeah,
were getting knocked out unconscious. In the first fight, Tyson Fury said he's gonna knock that bum out. I'm gonna knock him out. He says it all the time. So I'll say it like this: Tyson Fury tells you exactly what he's doing when he says something because he's doing something completely different.
yeah, 100%. And for argument's sake, even if Tyson Fury went in there with the intentions to knock Wilder out, let's say he actually believes it himself, I think once that first bell goes, he'll revert to type. I really
Highly
do. Like,
possible. I don't think he's gonna go with the Hagler Hearns kind of thing.
no, it's
That's
not Tyson
crazy.
Fury's game.
It's not
Not
Wilder's
obviously,
game
yeah,
either.
it's not, but it gives. I think in that scenario, it would give Wilder a better chance. To be honest,
Well, if he sits
when
in
you compare those two,
the ring and we slug it out, because I think there's only one winner in a slugfest.
I think Wilder will knock him out in the slugfest. To be honest,
I,
but Wilder's still vulnerable. I mean, the guy's not exactly Pernell Whitaker at heavyweight. Like the guy gets caught. When he gets caught, he doesn't really like it. Like in the first Fury fight, like round 12, Fury got dropped. He gets up. He wins the rest of the round. But look at how Wilder was reacting when he was getting hit. The guy doesn't punch back when he's getting hit. He don't like it. He's not used to it, man. Like
no,
people are they're so scared of Wilder's power, the aura, that they kind of go into a shell and he can kind of just take his time, and bang, knock him out.
I do
But
agree with that. I do agree with that. A lot of
and that's why
people
I
they
think
shy off.
Yeah, that's why I think Fury in this rematch, he needs to do what he did first time around, as in early on, cautious, make Wilder miss, make him miss, make him miss. As the fight goes on, Wilder's going to get tired because if you load up and miss so many times, you're going to gas. He did first
Absolutely.
time around.
And I think that's the game plan. Because when he says he's going to come out, well, while Wilder is fresh, he's way more dangerous. He does carry his power late. There's no question.
Yeah,
He carries it late. Look at his record. He's knocked out guys late many times. He's got serious late power. But here's the thing. He got tired from missing, as you said. That's when
mm,
Tyson needs to step on it. Rounds 9 through
exactly,
11. Rounds 9 through 11, you take it out of his hands.
exactly. Because I mean, like I say, when you actually get a bit aggressive with Wilder, he kind of stands off. He doesn't really react that well. Even Duhaupas. Look at when Duhaupas was throwing jab after jab after jab, busting him up. Wilder really didn't like it. He
No.
wasn't doing anything special, Duhaupas. If Fury can put two or three together, get out and repeat, make the most of his opportunities, then he maybe he could get a late stoppage. It's not out of the question. I just don't think Fury is kind of willing to take that risk. if I'm being honest. But I think if he did, it could honestly work for him. I think he's got the ability to do it, but has he got the mindset to do it? I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm really not sure.
I'm not sure either myself. But in all honesty, I think this fight is it's genuinely an interesting one. Like, I know who I've got. I know who you have. You'll do your breakdown and prediction video as you always do,
Yeah,
and people can
I,
wait for that.
I still might change it, but I'm still set where I want to be at the minute.
Mm. And yeah, so let me ask you one more thing, right?
Yeah.
So we have the initial thoughts. We have the thoughts on all of this. What do you think about how a week ago there was no press conferences and then we had a press conferences? Do you think Wilder's starting to take a foothold in the mind games? Because I think that threw Fury off.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It was very last minute. I wasn't expecting it, certainly. And in the press conference, I felt Wilder looked as calm as he's looked. In a big fight scenario, that's as calm as I've ever seen him look. Yeah, he talked some nonsense. We all know Deontay Wilder, but he just seemed calm and relaxed. And Tyson Fury bit a couple of times. Like when when Deontay Wilder brought up the fact that he stayed with his trainer from day one, whereas Tyson Fury's jumped around. Like
Yeah.
Fury bit. He said, "Oh, he made like he tried to like validate." When in reality, why should he need to? Do you know what I mean? He felt the need to validate that. So interesting. It was an interesting press conference. A lot of people said it was boring.
There
I
was
felt it
some
was a
interesting. I genuinely think it was close in the mind games. I think
yeah. I preferred that press conference to all of the first ones in the first fight because there was more substance to it. The first time around, it was Deontay Wilder and Fury just talking absolute nonsense. Yeah, it was funny, but there wasn't much behind it. This rematch, I think that there was something in that press conference that I don't know. I was surprised. It took me back by how calm Wilder was. I was expecting Fury to get the best of him, to be quite honest,
well,
and I don't think it happened.
they cut Fury's mic off. They didn't
Yeah,
give
that
him
is
an
true. Actually,
opportunity to speak.
that is true. When
And if
Wilder
you
was
look at the
talking,
questions and how they were directing it, they didn't give him much opportunity. In the amount of time they let Wilder speak versus him, they really gave Wilder much more emphasis to speak than Fury.
and funny you say that. I noticed that as well, and that made me think. A lot of people are saying, well, now Fury's with Top Rank and Bob Arum, he's got more sway in America, but
It didn't seem
wasn't
that
the
way.
no, it didn't. He seemed like the away fighter to me. That was interesting.
He seemed like the B side.
Yeah, I thought that exactly as I was watching it last. I think it was last night or the night before. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. And before people go off, he ain't no B side. I'm saying he seemed like a B side. I'm talking about how he was treated. Blame Fox and blame
Mm,
ESPN for that, not me or Dell.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's how it come. That's how it came across personally. But again, ultimately, press conferences do they really matter? I mean, not particularly, but it's
Yes.
interesting. It can do.
I think they matter with Tyson Fury. I think they're heavily important to Tyson Fury. I'll give you an example. Ustinov.
Oh yeah, I know what you're going to say. Yeah,
You big
he couldn't.
stupid idiot.
Yeah,
Yes, okay.
couldn't speak a lick.
Couldn't say anything to him. Was like, well, what do I do here? He made David Haye quit.
Yeah,
That's how in his head, like, he stopped Vladimir. He didn't beat Vladimir in the ring. He beat him outside of it.
that's true.
1,000,000%.
Do you think that's why they scheduled this press conference so late, like to kind of throw off Fury? Do
I
you think
think
it was
so.
by design?
Well, that's what I said. Like,
Yeah.
at the beginning, that's why I asked that question. Like, they were saying no, there's gonna be no press conferences and blah 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 from Wilder's side, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're like press conferences ago. It's like, wait, what the fuck? Fury's probably doing something, probably in the middle
Yeah,
of training camp. I like how Fury said 10 days, and Wilder laughed at him and said he'd been on it 3 weeks.
I know. Yeah, I noticed that as well.
I'm like,
And also,
interesting.
did you
And
see?
Fury didn't like that either. Did you see his face?
Yeah, no, and I did. And also, did you see the story about Fury in regards to sparring? He was talking about the cut
Yeah,
and saying like he's not going to be. I'm paraphrasing, but he's not really going to be full contact sparring,
yeah,
something along those lines.
because he needs to be aware of the cut.
Jesus
So
Christ.
there's a lot. There's a lot going on here that people aren't paying attention to, that they definitely need to. Now we've got the bronze Dosser, and we've got the fucking the from Dosser to Tosser in Fury, and when them two go head to head, like, it's gonna be monstrous, and the effects it's gonna have. This is just my opinion on YouTube amongst the boxing fans, the boxing community as a whole, from one side or the other, is gonna be monstrous,
100%.
unless there's another
100%.
draw.
Yeah, that could happen. It really could. But man, one thing I will say, since this first fight's been made, sorry, what am I saying first fight for? Since this second fight's been made, there's something about Tyson Fury that just isn't, it just puts me off.
Is
I
it
don't
what
think there's,
Wilder alluded to when he sniffed his finger 100 times?
no, not that. It just, it doesn't seem as on it, as amped. And like I've said this before with the whole favourite tag, Tyson Fury is favourite going into this fight. Well, at least right now, he's favourite. I mean, first Wilder fight, he had nothing to he had nothing to lose. He was 2.5 years out of the ring, coke binge, alcohol binge,
But
morbidly obese. He was supposed to get knocked out.
but
He
what if
nothing
this
to
is all a
lose.
ploy from Fury?
It could be.
What if
Yeah.
this is I'm gonna meet you in the center of the ring? I'm feeling coy. I feel nervous. I'm not doing my usual shit. And Wilder's like, I can just take this guy out. And then boom, Fury's on it beyond comparison. He is more than capable of doing that. Fooling
Mm.
everybody. The dude's a magician.
He is, but like, if there's something about it that just doesn't sit right with me, I don't know what it is.
Well, before the fight was even made, you were actually talking about the idea of Fury being favourite, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, like,
Like he's not.
we'll
I want
see.
to see him in that position, like with him being a favourite. You know, we're not expected to win, but a lot of people are picking him.
Well,
You know,
Fury's always been about the impetus of proving everybody wrong.
yeah, like Steve's mentality, me against the world. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people like cope with different scenarios better. Like me personally in life, I prefer that scenario where it's me against the world. I think I do better in that scenario. But if I'm doing well in something, that's when I kind of struggle to keep it up.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I get you.
And I think Tyson Fury could be a similar type of person where when he's expected to do something, when he's expected to win, he's not the same fighter. He doesn't have that same drive. Because, like I said, first time around, he had nothing to lose. It was the story, you know, coming off drink, drugs, depression. He had a lot. It was different.
Yeah,
This time around, it's interesting. It
absolutely.
really is.
So, should we wrap it up there? Or
Yeah,
is there
we
any
can
other
wrap.
thing you want to go on?
No, I'm gonna try and keep my cards close to my chest in regards to this fight for now. But yeah,
All right. Well, I guess that's it. To everybody who's watching, who's been listening for the last God knows how many minutes it's been, highly appreciate you for coming around. If you haven't, head over to Blue Collar Sports TV, subscribe to the Mandel, show him your support, show him your love. He's on that road, building up those subscribers, building up those followers. Brilliant insights in there in the boxing community. One of the best analysts I see. Someone I genuinely have taken some advice from and won money on as well, but you won't like me saying, but it's true. So go over to his channel, watch his breakdown videos, and subscribe to the lad and help him out. Any final words yourself, though?
no man, but thank you for having me on. Peace out to all your subscribers. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Yeah, man, I'm glad you had me on. I enjoyed it.
All right, nice one, mate. To everybody, have a blessed day. Enjoy the fight that's going to be happening because we're going to cover the hell out of it because we have to. And yeah, peace. Have a good one.
Peace.